Everybody, welcome back to stream. It is Monday. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. I did. I certainly did. I actually went to the movie theater. I saw a movie. I'm going to talk about it a little later, but I hope everyone's having a great Monday start to their week and all that good stuff. Now, ads are enabled. I'm not exactly sure if that means anything because for sure this is going to get muted as soon as we get into any sort of music. What's going on, Jace? Welcome, welcome. As soon as we get into any music, this is going to get muted, the VOD, so it makes me think it's not even worth having the ads on. So depending on how annoying this is, I might turn those off. I'm assuming it's going to be annoying, but if it ever cuts out to ad or whatever, I will actually pause the video that's playing so we don't miss anything, and then come back when it comes back. It tells me, but I have no idea if it's even worth it at this point. I was just excited to get Twitch affiliate and turned on everything, so eventually I'll probably turn off everything because it won't matter. But yeah, so it's cool. You can donate bits if you want to donate bits. I have no idea what that conversion rate is. I'm sure it's 1,000 bits for a penny or something like that. But you can sub to the channel now. You can gift subs as well if you feel like it. Maybe once a month we do like a sub-only chat or something like that. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. That little goal down here was just stuck on the bits goal. So you can set up multiple goals. Usually it's followers, subs, and bits. And it was stuck on bits. And I'm like, I don't need a bits goal. I'm more interested in getting that 100 follower first. And then we'll work up to something else. But so I just deleted those other ones right off the website. So it's been interesting here, just trying to figure out Twitch and all its quirks and whatnot. But anyway, we got 5 amazing videos for you today. Interview with the Vampire. We're going to start off strong with Interview with the Vampire. Then we go to Dead Boy Detectives. Then we head into SPRINA, which apparently is no more, judging based on, what has been happening, what's been said, the fact that Nicholas isn't even on the show anymore. That kind of, he's on hiatus, I guess you want to say. Contract expired, no new contract. Then we go to Gilmore Girls, and then we end with a happy ending. It's literally called Happy Ending. It is a trailer, so this should be very interesting. Anyway, the movie that I saw, it was A Quiet Place Day 1. I don't know if you've heard of it, if you've seen the previews or whatever, but it first came out on Netflix. A Thai happy ending indeed. So the first Quiet Place came out on Netflix. It was with John Krasinski and Emily Blunt. And then they did a follow-up to it because it was so big. And then they did this one starring Lupita Nyong'o. I forget the guy's name. It's not important. He's a interesting character in it, but mostly she's the star of the show. I thought it was very good. It wasn't super scary. It had a few jump scares, and it did make me jump, Eddie from Stranger Things. There you go. That's who's in it. Eddie from Stranger Things. It did make me jump a couple times. I'm easy to jump, though. So if I ever play a horror game on the Todd Reacts Plays channel or the Twitch channel, it's going to be pretty easy to get me to flinch and whatnot. But so it's not saying much. But there was a couple good ones in there that got me. But overall, I thought the movie was pretty good. I'll try not to give any spoilers. I thought it was very interesting, the take on it. If you're thinking about it just as a movie, kind of the broad overview picture is that it's a escape thriller, I guess you could call it. You're trying to get out of an area before you get killed or get got, if you want. His name is Joseph Quinn. Appreciate it, Morgan. Welcome back. Appreciate it. Yeah, so it's very interesting. Another ad break? Come on now. I might have to turn this stuff off. Anyway. Yeah, so I thought it was very good. It's an escape horror. She teams up with the guy, and then you find out more of like deep reasonings why she wants to do a certain thing before leaving. And boy, I'm really skating around the plot. I'm trying not to give away anything, but it was good. I would recommend to watch it. Maybe not in theaters, but certainly when it comes out to streaming services or whatever, check it out for sure. Overall, I'd say it was worth a watch for sure. There may be one issue with it. So, in the movie, I don't think I'm giving away too much here. In the movie, there's a cat, right? Aw. And that cat has unbelievable plot armor. Now, what you're thinking is, oh, it's a quiet movie. There's a cat involved. Eventually, the cat's going to make a noise, and then people are going to get killed, kind of thing. No, it's the most well-behaved cat you've ever seen in your life. It's just quiet throughout the entire thing. Not a meow, not a peep, nothing. And you're just like, just waiting for it. You're waiting for it because there's so many people and there's so much carnage and stuff like that. But it never pays off. I was just assuming, like, even if the cat got out of that situation and survived, like, that would be interesting. But it wasn't gonna be. And that was kind of disappointing, honestly. I was like, come on, that's such an easy plot point. Easy plot point. Freddy is so mouthy. Yeah, I was just like, this is the quietest feline I think I've ever heard in my life. No noises, no, like, investigating anything, making a noise, going where it shouldn't be going, Nothing. Nothing at all. But definitely a recommended watch. If you're into that sort of thing, I thought it was very good. It had some emotional moments. It had its scary moments, jump scares usually. Not so much scary in the way, but more jump scares. Yeah, it was emotional. Sometimes it had some, not laughs, but like lighthearted moments in between all that chaos, which is good. Probably not enough. But also probably just right, because you don't want to get it too like jokey. Then it just turns into Marvel or something like that. And then you're just left with a horror comedy or something, which is just an odd. Well, you know what? I kind of liked Army of Darkness, which is basically a horror comedy. So maybe that wouldn't be too bad, but it did have a lot of seriousness to it, which I enjoyed. So anyway, if you would like to request your own videos today or tomorrow or for the next stream, I don't know what's going on. It's Monday. My brain isn't functioning. I just worked all day. I am not functioning well, but I am trying. I am drinking caffeine. We'll see what happens. But if you'd like to request your own videos to have them show up on stream, you can do so. Head on over to toddreacts.com, join the season or series tiers. And if you just like to watch the longer form content that's on the website exclusively, you can do so with the episode tier. I consider it basically a month-long movie ticket. I know from following Lupita, she used to have a cat phobia and obviously needed to get over it for the movie. Oh, wow. Now she's even adopted her own kitty, Yo-Yo. Wow, that's amazing. That's pretty impressive. Wow. You think about getting prepared for a movie, it's memorizing the script. It's, maybe doing like a boot camp kind of thing if you're doing like an action film or something. Maybe you're learning a language to be able to, be a little bit more convincing. But maybe she just adopted a cat for a little while. I'm not exactly sure, but that's very interesting. That is a fascinating fact. Oh my gosh. Be sure to subscribe to the Todd Reacts channel on YouTube. This is the mainstay channel for this universe, if you want to call it that. I don't know what to call it. I have so many different channels. It's like, what do I call this? The main channel? Go ahead and subscribe today. It is free to subscribe for a YouTube channel and account. So go ahead and do so. Let's see if do I still have that up? Let's see. Yes. In the month of May, 87% of the watch time on the channel, which is quite a bit of hours, thousands and thousands of hours, 87% were not subscribed. So go ahead and subscribe today. It is free and easy. You don't have to use the Gmail account. Just use it as a login. And you can Make sure you follow along and subscribe to all your favorite creators as well. Not just mine. You know, I'm sure you have tons of other creators you enjoy as well. So go give them a subscribe. It just helps motivationally, I guess. And also it helps you find out if there's new videos available. Go ahead and subscribe to the Todd Reacts Plays channel as well. That's where all gaming content lies. Boy, I just snoozed another ad. Boy, they're pushing it. They're pushing it. I'm definitely turning that off. That's annoying to me. Go ahead and subscribe to Todd Reacts Plays on YouTube. If you're not a fan of Twitch or you just don't enjoy coming over here, which you should. I mean, you don't have to do anything, honestly. You can literally watch the live streams on Twitch without an account even. But it's a lot cooler to have an account because then you can hop in the chat and then your chat can show up on screen. Just kind of a fun environment. As you can see, Hogwarts Legacy Part 3 is happening on Friday. Just did 2.5 hours what did I do that? On Saturday, I think, last week? Super fun, super interesting. If you've never seen the game and you wanted to see it, might as well experience it with me. I've never played it before. And so far, so good. It is interesting, to say the least. It's just a lot of fun to be in that world of Hogwarts and, you know, with a wand and everything and able to do magic and learning magic, attending class. It's just very interesting. You know, I had that experience at Universal Studios at the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, which is super cool. It's fascinating to look at. It's wild to look up and see Hogwarts, like an actual real scale Hogwarts. But there's something, you know, missing. Like you miss some of that magic because you're in the real world. So at least in this game, you get to enjoy a little bit more of that magic. Summer collection's available right now. Go ahead and check it out. Members save 15% off every single order. YouTube channel members save 10%, 5%. I can't remember exactly off the top of my head. I should probably look that up. But many amazing items. I'm obviously wearing the polo right now. It comes in a bunch of sizes, very inclusive. Be sure to check out the accessories as well. This is the insulated tumbler, obviously in the mint color. I've been using this on every stream and I absolutely love it. So there you go. There's more things, like literally under my keyboard's the desk mat. The mouse pad is new because I realized people maybe don't have such a large space to, you know, give a desk mat. But so if you need the desk mat for your space, it's awesome. I've been using it for years at this point, and it's been great. 15%, excellent. Save 15%. And yeah, this cool thing as well. I just bring it up because I think it's fascinating. As I'm live on Twitch, you can actually gift something from the store to the Twitch chat, and it'll just pick somebody randomly, which I think is pretty amazing. I actually cover the cost of the shipping, so it's literally a free gift. So there you go. Let's go ahead and, oh, you know what? I almost forgot. I should not forget. It's amazing. Join the Discord. It's available. It's free. It's awesome. We have tons of discussions. I just added an Olympics channel because the Olympics are coming up. We have over 100 members in the Discord. So if you want a channel, just join the requested channel, put in a topic, and then we will do so. Tons of channels. Look at this. Tons of channels. Just add a Tom Daya one. So if you're a fan of Tom Holland and Zendaya, you can join that and post whatever you want to post. Interview with the Vampire as well, as we will be watching it today. Kind of topical. Food, adventures, music, hobbies, D&D, movies, questions of the day, Olympics was just added, YouTube rabbit holes. If you ever go down a YouTube rabbit hole, which I do frequently, you can post whatever crazy video you've been watching, and it'll give everyone else an insight into, you know, your YouTube habits, as well as, hey, maybe it's interesting. Maybe we'll enjoy it. Maybe it'll get you, you know, watching more videos on whatever that is. Anyway, join today. It is available everywhere. The link is on the channel. It's under every video. It's on the Twitch profile. It's in the chat. So go ahead and join today. Let's go ahead and jump into the first video. Of course, an ad break is going to happen in 8 seconds. So we will jump into that video very quickly shortly. Actually, you know what I'm thinking? What if when I download this, YouTube doesn't see the ads? That makes a lot of sense. So I should just keep going. I should probably just keep going. All right, let's jump into that first video. I'm turning off the ads. It is not worth it when I'm downloading these and uploading it to YouTube. It just doesn't make sense. Ad break ends in 1:30. Oh my gosh. Oh my, how do I turn this off like immediately? Let me see if I can. Let's see. What is... This is a good question. I don't think I can. From here at least. Well, that's annoying. Monetization. Here we go. All right. I figured it out. All right. I think I did it. I think I did it. Hopefully that stops it. I'm not exactly sure, but what's up, lots of planets? Oh my gosh. I turned it off. Hopefully it works on stream. I'm not exactly sure. Because you know what I was thinking? I was like, wait a minute. When I download this later to put it on YouTube, am I just going to be sitting here while that ad runs? So I'm like, wait a minute. This is not going to work. This is not going to work. Because there's no way it's going to download the ads to upload to YouTube. So hopefully that turned it off.
So where'd you find me? At my old house?
I heard you cry for help. We can hear people's thoughts.
I don't know where to fight. Her body's all charred.
No, you can do this.
I literally just turned it off. While the ads were running, I turned it off. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it turned it off.
Claudia was.
So this my new house? How'd you do that?
You had a daughter. I had a daughter.
All I used to do was pray. Would've, could've, should've. If you'd never looked my way, I would've stayed on my knees. And a damn sure never would've danced with the devil. At 19, and the God's honest truth is that the pain was heaven.
Please turn it.
I'm scared of ghosts. Memories feel like weapons.
Now go on. Clean up after yourself.
I wish you left me wondering. If you never touched me, I would've.
This is not going well. Like, every scene is not good so far.
Happy hunting.
Not that it's bad, I'm saying, like, it doesn't seem like a good situation for grabbing a 14-year-old
Let me
body.
measure it.
Yeah, that is...
You You wanted her. You fixed her. Claudia, a band-aid for a shitty marriage.
Doing this together.
Do you remember our life? How happy we were?
What is this?
What have you done?
You gonna let him do this to you?
Never gonna forget what happened here. I hate you both. Get out of my room!
The chaos, the crisis,
Ooh.
silence.
This literally seems like a nightmare.
Out there. I miss you.
Who am I supposed to be? Who's Palestine? Who's Valerie?
Then why'd you take me home? Why not a hospital?
They were shredded to strips because you are a mistake.
You treat us like shit and you take it. Why is that?
I know we made some.
Can't exactly go back in time.
But I was breathing. Uncle
His uncle has now, son.
Right.
Maybe what?
Definitely not.
It was never you.
You must think me an idiot.
Let me go, son.
I can't allow that.
By the way, you
Nothing's
notice my sound drop at all in the microphone? I adjusted the noise gate. Hopefully it's better.
We have to burn them. It's the only way we'll know.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm glad they did.
We engineered you. For Louis.
Could you imagine being, well, I guess you wouldn't know much of anything. But being stuck that age would be pretty bad.
No one here wishes to speak with you.
Perhaps we should let him decide if he wants to see you. I couldn't.
But Claudia could. She stuck a pen in his neck. She recorded his last words in his own blood.
Maybe, but I'm not your child anymore. We leave the damage, so we never forget the damage.
You chose Lestat over her time and time again.
I love her unconditionally.
I don't know how to feel about that, other than the fact that I think, Jace, you're right. The first reaction is, imagine being trapped in a 14-year-old body. Like, that would be a living nightmare. And it seemed like there wasn't really much of a plan there. It very much seemed like she was just being taken advantage of or like pushed around a lot. Like, just gross. Lots of gross stuff going on there. Link down below in the YouTube description for the original video. Go throw it some love. Wow. That was interesting. Oh, what's cool is you can see the my portable power bank right there. I every 3 months you have to cycle it. You have to take it down to 30% and then charge it back up. It's kind of annoying, but it's cool to have during power outages. I can literally run the internet and the Wi-Fi through that thing, which is pretty cool. Not forever, but quite a few hours. But yeah, that seemed like a lot of screaming, agony, crying in a way. Maybe not physically crying, but just like crying out for things. Differences, a different life, the circumstance, etc. It very much seemed like, yeah, teen angst. Like a lot of angst. Teen years as a vampire. Oh my gosh. I can't imagine being stuck like that. I mean, I guess you never get to look old, but then again, you never get to that point where you're like an adult. So that would be annoying in its own way. But you never look too old, I guess. As someone who's aging, it's like, I don't know about this. I don't know about this. Let me go back. Let me go back a couple years. Just a few years. Teen angst, but trapped in it for centuries. Oh my gosh. Oh. Although I will say, it hasn't been centuries, but I've been listening to Blink-182 for years. I still got that teen angst. You know, I still enjoy the music of it at least. But let's go ahead and look more into this. Claudia. Season 1's best character is Claudia, according to this article. According to Emily Kavanaugh. AMC is quickly becoming one of the homes to popular fantasy author Anne Rice's many acclaimed works, following the success of Interview with the Vampire Season 1, starring Jacob Anderson as Louis and Sam Reed as Lestat. Then again, I think if I remember correctly, the actress that plays Claudia has been switched for Season 2. Just got renewed for a 3rd season. That's awesome. While all the characters in Interview with the Vampire are quite interesting and add to the story in their own way, Claudia, played by Bailey Bass, past tense, I think it changed to someone else in the 2nd season, is in many ways the best. It's one thing to be given immortality in an adult body, but it's another entirely to be trapped in the body of a child. That stinks. Yeah, she had school commitments. Oh, okay. Well, you know what? Kudos to her. Kudos to Bailey. That's awesome. Stay in school, kids. Unlike her counterpart in Anne Rice's novel or in the 1994 film adaptation, the new AMC series aged Claudia up from a young child to a teen in a somewhat controversial move. This choice has ultimately led to Claudia becoming one of the more complex characters and engaging characters in the show. Claudia enters at a vulnerable time, comes into Lestat and Louis's lives at a dire time. She's almost killed in the fire that consumed many of the buildings in Storyville, but she's saved by Louis in an act. Did I say Louis? Saved by Louis. I believe he's French. In an act of selfish desperation, he begs Lestat to save her, turn into one of them, and Lestat, to appease Louis, fulfills his request. At first, Claudia is happy in her new life. She's alive, obviously. She lives luxuriously along with her new vampiric family. That's such a great word, vampiric. Louis is Creole, New Orleans born. Good to know. And for a short while, they're happy. Well, yeah, I mean, you get introduced to that decadent lifestyle. I'm sure for a little bit you're pretty happy about it. And then reality sets in. Lestat has further chained Louis to him, and Louis has the family he'd longed for, but the bliss doesn't last long. Claudia is simply a bandage for an already tumultuous relationship. What do they always say? A kid does not solve relationship issues. And how many people fall into that trap? Or getting married to solve relationship issues. Again, another pitfall. Claudia is simply a bandage to a tumultuous relationship. When she starts to see the cracks in their lives, she also sees the cracks in her own. Claudia is tormented by loneliness. As soon as she becomes aware of it, Lestat and Louis have each other, romance as well as family, but she has been trapped in eternal youth, regarded as a child by both Louis and Lestat, as well as the outside world. She feels like a third wheel with only the people who truly know her. Claudia falls in love with a boy, and in doing so, learns just how deep her loneliness goes. When she finally gets to be with him, she drains him of blood by accident. Whoops. And the sorrow of the act consumes her. She becomes uncaring of the consequences of her actions, going on killing sprees and desperately trying to turn others into vampires so she won't be alone anymore. Oh my gosh. It's a more childlike version of the desperation Lestat and Louis both possess, but she acts upon it while paying little mind to the consequences. Still naive and overconfident in her own power. That love bite got out of hand. Indeed it did. Apparently went on a spree. How many is a spree? Is it 3 or 4? 2 is a... Wait. 1 is a one-off. 2 is a pattern. 3 is probably a spree. Yeah, the fact that rhymes, I think it's right. Claudia leaving home in an interview with Vampire allows her to grow. It's only after she runs away and travels between colleges for a while in episode 5 that Claudia is able to shed some of the resentment and existential fear. I need to make this bigger. I'm like trying to read this and it's tiny. And I'm blinded by a light. It's a good combo. That clouded her mind in New Orleans. It's also then that she encounters her first vampire outside her family, learning the cruelty of these beings who feel entitled to whatever they want. But in its going through all of this, that Claudia learns that what she truly values and finds new reasons for being. Claudia wants to see and learn more about the world, about vampires, about herself, and she wants Louis to be there with her when she does. So clearly, she has a connection to Louis. Her early development from naive girl to jaded vampire is fascinating on its own, but Claudia truly comes into her own after return in episode 6. Her appearances spurs a massive blowout between Louis and Lestat, resulting in Louis almost being killed by the other vampire. He's out of commission for a good while, with Claudia stepping in to take care of him. Her return alone shows a great deal of growth, but after seeing Louis part ways with his sister once and for all, she takes up the mantle herself. Rather than a surrogate daughter, Claudia takes care of Louis like a sister. I think aging her up gave her so much more agency. Indeed it did. But definitely changes the role of her character. Yeah, I get why, fans of the novel would be kind of turned off by it, but I think it kind of adds a little bit more to the character in that you just get to see her go through like very relatable things. 5 to 8, like I don't remember much of that. It was mostly, school, coming home from school, watching cartoons, playing with toys. Like it was very non-eventful. So at least by making her 14, she gets to have some sort of like outside life. And I think that's ultimately for TV, especially, way better. Little Kirsten Dunst in the movie was a great performance, but very different Claudia. Indeed. I did see the original one. It's been forever, though. Like, it's been a long time. Probably over a decade. Whenever Lestat shows up with some trite gift to try and win them back, she coolly rejects him, stepping in to protect Louis when she knows how difficult it is for him to handle Lestat himself. That's kind of cool. Though her body remains that of a child, her mind has grown immensely. Well, that's good, at least. She might look like a 14-year-old, but her mind is at least getting a little, sharper and more aware of things. And Claudia's emotional and empirical intelligence has reached a level that matches or surpasses her creators. Having seen more of the world and other vampires than Louis has, she's become fiercely protective of him. Tries to convince him to flee with her. When her own attempt is foiled by Lestat, she doesn't condemn herself to a life with him as Louis has, but she starts plotting instead as Lestat might. Claudia is the vampire Lestat could have been. She's like Louis in so many ways, with her first thirst for knowledge and the intense empathy she has for those she cares about. Claudia can see through Lestat. Once she comes back, she knows never to trust him. And even after he drags her off the train, she's not deterred by him. If anything, his betrayal of her choice and his insistence on keeping her caged for Louis' contentment just make her more determined to foil him. Billy Bass pulls off Claudia's evolution. Choice to age up Claudia in AMC's interview with Vampire makes her a more complex and engaging character. That's what lots of planets said. Perpetually trapped between childhood and adulthood, but it seems like her mind and emotional intelligence grows, which is good. So it's not completely stuck. You're not completely stuck in there. Claudia's experience of loneliness and her accidental killing of a boy drives her into a spree. Growth and transformation throughout the season allow her to break free of cycles of abuse and become a fiercely protective and calculating character. That's fascinating to me. That is fascinating. Because it probably starts off with Louis protecting her and whatnot and looking after her. I like a quote I just spotted. Claudia sees Lestat the monster. Louis sees Lestat the man. Oh, yeah, right here. And this discrepancy is what makes her conclusion for the season so impactful, but so sad. She's done everything she can to save Louis, and it's still not enough. but she was able to save herself from becoming either of them. And that in itself is a victory. Well, that's a great way to put it. That's fascinating. That's an interesting character arc. I'm glad they went that way. Anne Rice, the interview with the vampire novelist on her daughter's death, living through her own funeral, and the dangers of Oxford. Vampires are the best metaphor for the human condition. In 1973, after the death of her daughter from leukemia, she said, Anne Rice said, I was sad, broken, and despairing atheist when I wrote Interview with the Vampire. I pitched myself into writing and made up a story about vampires. I didn't know it at the time, but it was all about my daughter. The loss of her and the need to go on living when faith is shattered. But the lights do come back on, no matter how dark it seems, and I'm sensitive now, more than ever, to the beauty of the world. More resigned to living with cosmic uncertainty. Wow, that's an incredible response. Holy crap. That's amazing. I can relate to that. Pretty much shattered if you lose anybody. But the lights do come on, life goes on. You have the memories as long as you have your, faculties. And it definitely seems dark. That is a fact. I will say this, you start to cherish life a little bit more. Obviously everyone says, live like there's no tomorrow because there isn't any, or, live like you're dying or whatever. Very few people actually do that. But you get kind of a new sense of it when you go through death of someone close to you, a loved one, whatever. It is very... What's a good way to put that? It's not refreshing in a good sense, but it's a good refresher for your understanding of mortality and life, and just putting yourself out there, trying new things. It's very eye-opening, is a good way to put it. Obviously, you're still sad. Emotions can, take you in a direction at any given time. I mean, literally, I'll just be, I don't know, I'll be in the car, like, driving, and then all of a sudden it'll just hit me. I'll just be, like, emotional, like, hyper-emotional. It's very weird. But you just get kind of used to it, I suppose. Brings clarity to the important things. Indeed, it does. And it gives you that kind of sense of, wow, we aren't here forever. Just kind of brings that right to the forefront. Because a lot of times humans, as we're living life, we kind of put that death thing like way back here. Like way, way back here. Because it's not fun to think about. We know it's going to happen, so it's better not to think about it. Avoid it, all that stuff. But boy, it brings it like right here. Which is good. Obviously, you don't want it to consume you. You don't want to become just thinking about that. But it is healthy to have a good sense of mortality, at least. Vampires are the best metaphor for the human condition. Here you have a monster with a soul that's immortal, yet in a biological body. Metaphor for us, as it's very difficult to realize that we are going to die. Indeed. I literally just said that. And day to day, we have to think and move as though we are immortal. Right. Putting it back here. A vampire like Lestat in Interview is perfect for that because he transcends time, yet he can be destroyed, go mad, and suffer. It's intensely about the human dilemma. As writers, we live in dread of our work being butchered on film, but the opposite happened with the adaptation of Interview, starring Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise, which I thought was pretty good. I was lucky I had the Crying Game director, Neil Jordan, and the movie was incredibly faithful to the book. I don't feel comfortable with any gender identity, which is why I write about characters that transcend gender. It's all about the outsiders who are told they are damned and condemned, but rather than linger in the shadows, they refuse to accept that. From the beginning, some of my most wonderful fans and the most penetrating reviews of my books have been from the gay community. I've had my own jazz funeral. When I lived in New Orleans, I owned a beautiful coffin, which I used to... What? Which I used to be carried in to book signings, and I'd pop out of it to sign the books. That is amazing. What? The most memorable was when I was driven in an old-fashioned glass hearse. With a bunch of musicians from the French Quarter alongside, I lay in my coffin listening to this mournful Dixieland jazz and feeling every jostle and bump along the way. It was a wonderful experience. That sounds terrifying to me. They used it in the Vampire Masquerade Ball every year, too. That's amazing. That is very New Orleans, for sure. I've never been, but everything I've consumed about New Orleans, that seems very fitting. I have no faith in religious institutions. I investigated Christian institutions for 12 years and tried hard to be a believing Christian, but I had to leave. I have a great devotion to Jesus Christ, but the theological doctrines that troubled me, original sin, atonement theory, I found to have no foundation in Scripture. I can't help but think that Oxford is the most dangerous place in the world. I'm a huge fan of Oxford-based Inspector Morse, and I love watching spin-off Lewis and Endeavor prequel portraying Morse as a young man. I like the richness of the writing, the portraits of people, which made it more than a whodunit. But despite all those homicides, I'd love to visit Oxford next year and experience the atmosphere. Anne Rice is 73 as the time of the writing of this, which is 2014. I think, yeah, this is interesting. Stan and Michelle Rice on the left, so left side there. Lestat and Claudia on the right. That's obviously Tom Cruise and Kirsten Dunst. As a side note, before this gets into the more serious topic, AR, Anne Rice, has said she based Lestat on Stan, and there is a story out there that his name was meant to be Lestan, but ended up being Lestat because of a typographical error. Wow. I don't have a source on that. Regarding Claudia equals Michelle from The Vampire Companion. In the first draft of Interview with the Vampire, Rice described Claudia as 3 or 4 years old. Rice based Claudia's appearance on her own daughter, Michelle, who died at the age of 5 from leukemia. Claudia even shares Michelle's birthday, September 21. However, despite the intense tone of suffering and guilt evident in Louis' telling of the story, Rice insists that she had not been aware that she had included her feelings about Michelle's tragic death. Quote, I never consciously thought about it when I was writing the book, she says. I wasn't conscious of the connection. I knew that I was using the physical beauty of Michelle as the model, but Claudia was a fictional character in her own right. The character, the voice, and the things Claudia have nothing to do with my daughter. But there's no question that this is symbolic working out of a terrible grief. What else can it possibly be? End quote. She passed last year? Oh, after seeing the show being brought to life. Well, at least she saw it. That's cool. In the first version, Claudia eventually goes off with 3 vampire brothers whom she meets in Paris. She does not die. As such, it was as if Rice had attempted to give her daughter a form of immortality. Rice, however, experienced psychological problems that cleared up only after she had rewritten the ending by killing off Claudia and taking Louis through an experience of intense grieving. This version was much more cathartic for Rice. Yeah, I can see that. By giving Claudia, a.k.a. the symbolic being of Michelle, I think, the Michelle? Yeah. That's not moving on. That's like trying to give your daughter more life, in a way. So by killing her off, honestly, that probably is cathartic. Because you're with this character, you're writing it, thinking about your daughter, maybe. And then at the end, reality happens. Yeah, I think that's a better way to do it, for sure. Boy, that's sad. That is so sad. Good grief. No parent wants to bury a child. And I'm sure that was very traumatic for her. But I will say she turned it into something beautiful. And I'm sure she dedicated it to Michelle. Just a guess, but wow. That's something I didn't know. That is amazing. Wow. Hard to move on from that, but let's jump into the second video. And I think the ad stopped, so it did work. Because I'm like, I'm sitting here while this ad is running. This is what YouTube's going to see. Me just sitting here. The second video is Edwin and the Cat King from the Dead Boy Detectives, entitled You Fascinate Me. We did watch one Dead Boy Detectives edit, I believe. No, we watched two. Two, I think. A couple weeks ago. Very interesting. I like the concept of it. We're always on that emotional roller coaster, indeed, and it goes up and down. It's fast, so be ready for it. Bring on the Cat King. Says lots of planets, so we will do that.
We were invited to see the Cat King.
Hi.
Can all cats do that?
Of course not.
Oh, that's
I'm a
right.
Cat
The
King.
TikTok compilation.
Cat, are you the one from earlier?
What? We all look alike to you?
Yes, but I've been looking for you.
Sorry, I'm already bored. Which one of them used the magic on you?
The scrawny one that just had the nerve to talk to you.
Oh.
Finding spell. One of my tricks.
I thought we were going to see.
What should
We're going to see
your
Wonder Woman
punishment
for a second.
be? Do you two have a
Lasso of Truth.
special friendship?
We are best friends, if you must know.
Oh, wow, okay. My kingdom is all about want and pleasure.
You're threatening to punish me.
Oh, they're not mutually exclusive.
But using magic on a cat means trouble.
I'm afraid I don't see the harm in one little spell.
Oh, no? You are so oddly handsome. You fascinate me. I am fascinated by you.
If somebody called me oddly handsome, I think I would question it. Like,
What
do
is
you
that on
mean
your
by
wrist?
that? Like, excuse me?
I simply hate that I'm the reason we are stuck in this town. I should have known. What the bloody hell is this?
It's a caging spell.
I knew this was about that stupid Cat King.
It keeps you in this town. My kingdom.
Look at your fists.
Oh,
That only happens when you're very tense, mate.
We cannot stay here. It is dangerous.
Oh, Edwin, what was it you just said to me? I don't see the harm in one little spell.
What is it you're not telling me?
Look, it comes right off as soon as you make me happy.
Then what would
Roll.
make you happy?
I'm fairly sure we could figure something out.
I do not understand why you are so fixated on the minutiae of my chat with the Cat King.
I'm a fair and consensual Cat King. So I will give you another option. Count all the cats in Port Townsend, and then the bracelet will come off.
you
Lost
kidding
it.
me.
142. The burning cat scratch was unnecessary.
Well, in my experience, uptight boys like a little bit of rough play.
Where did you go?
The Cat King. Yes, the bracelet is still on. There are 142 cats.
There are absolutely not 142 cats.
And you forgot about the part where Edwin saw the Cat King again.
It is an impossible task. How on earth does this make you happy?
Because it gives me more time with you. Ooh, cat got your tongue.
Oh my god.
Now I get it. I might be too mature for you, but I'm not a daddy type. Although I am hundreds of years older than you. I know it can be intimidating, but aren't I fun?
Not in the slightest. It's just old.
Ouch. Well, with age comes experience. I can really be anything you like. How about this?
Oh, boy. The Cat King's gonna hate this.
Maybe something like this.
Oh, wow. It's a heck of a power to have.
If you're not going to take this off, then I need to get back to my investigation.
Was I not supposed to say that?
What did he want? He didn't whisk you away again or anything.
Why do these cases of complete strangers matter to you so much?
Not that you would understand, but I help ghosts whose cases would go unsolved. I right wrongs.
Wow, that is beautiful. Did your publicist help you write that? No, that's not it. I mean, besides being a Boy Scout, there's something else. Behind those emerald eyes. Tell me.
I'm also doing as much good as I can so that
Wow.
eventually, if I have to go back to hell, I can make my case for leniency.
That doesn't the truth feel better. You never, ever, ever have to pretend with me.
Did you get that bracelet off?
Charles, I would be back at the office right now if the bracelet was off.
I like your secret parts.
He wanted
It's
to
the
know if
meowing
I'd
that's
counted all of the
getting me.
cats yet, and my guess was evidently unsatisfactory. Now, unless you have more damnable spells, I should go. 48, 49.
What's that? Oh, and Edwin. Don't forget to count the cats. You were way off. I mean, miles off. 142.
I have feelings for you too. I wasn't talking about you.
Hello. Someone's been a very naughty, naughty ghost.
I'm in the middle of a case.
Oh, tell me about it. I've been in the hunt for you all night in this ridiculous fort. Who is this? This is a very close friend of Edwin's. Secret friend. You didn't think that you were the only one keeping secrets, did you, Monty? Oh. The handsome face, the little kiss. He's luring you into a trap.
I've never even been kissed.
I've also never been.
Sorry to break it to you, Edwin, but your first kiss was with a crow. I saw that. Very awkward.
I never understood the appeal of it. At least until recently.
I came all the way out into this ridiculous forest to save you. I believe I'm at least owed a thank you.
Every time I see the Cat King, I'm painfully reminded of my inexperience.
Do you want to kiss the Cat King?
And by the way, the second kiss is always much better.
I'm not your toy. Absolutely not.
Edwin, I am not someone to be dismissed.
This is all you are. Do you understand?
Things didn't work out with your little stuffy ghost boyfriend.
What do you want, Esther? I'm terrifically busy with my ennui. If you walk away from me, that thing is never coming off and you'll be trapped here forever, and I will stop playing nice. You thought that mushrooms could take down those ghosts. That is so cute. Edwin has been through more pain than you or I could ever imagine.
What do you mean, more pain?
He survived hell. And when he escapes hell again, I will be waiting for him. God, I am such a romantic, I hate it. He can't make you young.
No, but he can give me power.
Hey, keep your paws off of him.
Oh, do be a good kitty and stay out of my way, or I'll have to kill you again.
Esther Finch has taken Charles and Edwin.
So what? Why should I get my paws dirty for you?
Because whatever fucked up little thing you have going on with Edwin, you must care about him a little.
I may look incredibly powerful and alarmingly sexy, but I'm not really equipped to fight Esther. There he is.
What a line.
Now that you cut off our little friendship bracelet, I wasn't sure I'd ever see you again. We don't all have 9 lives. My condolences for your brave friend.
That is very thoughtful.
Would you like a hug? I already hate myself enough for ever caring about that thin, stuffy little British tease.
Thank you. Even though this was mostly your fault for trapping me here at the start.
Well, I do work in mysterious ways.
I think I understand you better now.
Oh. Do tell me all about me.
You are lonely. You play games and change outfits, chase toys to distract yourself from it. You were right. We are a lot alike.
Not
We're
wrong.
both lonely. $147 cats in Port Townsend.
Red. For courage.
Close. But there are 146 cats in Port Townsend.
You forgot to count yourself.
You'll miss me.
What a great character. I started that going, I don't know. But ending wise, great character. Lots of good lines. Very good lines. You fall so hard for Edwin. That gives him a unique insight into Edwin's actual heart. Oh my gosh. What a What an interesting character. Very funny. Also, very serious moments there. Obviously, very lonely. But overall, a fascinating character. Link down below in the YouTube description for the original edit. Go throw out some much-deserved love. That was fantastic edit. And it really gave a good kind of overview of the character itself. He's a lot of fun, grows on you quickly. Indeed. Literally in, 8 minutes of that? It grew on me completely. The character initially starting out, I'm just like, oh, okay, here we go. But over that 8 minutes, I have actually really enjoyed that character. Does it last for very long, or is he like out of it just because, he was in that town for however many episodes or whatever? That's the question. Is the Cat King going to be around more, or is the Cat King just kind of a one-off? Hopefully not. But that was very interesting. Good ending there. Obviously forgot to count himself. Fascinating. Oh my gosh. That's genuinely one of the more interesting characters I think I've reacted to in a long time. Believe it or not. Edwin Payne, just kind of going over, just a little refresher here. Because we did do this last time, but, sometimes people haven't seen the prior. There we go. There's the word. Prior reactions to it, so it kind of helps jog the memory. Certainly of me as well. The ghost and the brains behind the Dead Boy Detective Agency, as well as best friends with Charles Rowland. Obviously died in the boarding school. Let's see. Sacrificial ritual. Summoned a demon, killed them, and dragged Edwin to hell, where he remained for the next 73 years. 73 years until the birth year of Taylor Swift. Is that related? I don't know. Shortly after his escape from hell, he comes across a boy in the attic, Charles. When Charles sees him and asks who he is, Edwin realizes that he's dying and decides to stay with him. And until his death, giving him a lantern and keeping him company. After Charles's death, Charles decides he'd rather stay on Earth with Edwin, leading them to later start a detective agency together that they ran for 30 years. We don't know if we'll see him in season 2, but he's popular, so I can see it happening. Well, hopefully the writers get on that. That'd be kind of cool if they brought him back. Edwin has 3 love interests, 4 if you count one in his life in flashbacks. He's catnip for those boys. That's a funny way to put it. Cursed by the Cat King. In an attempt to save a young missing girl, Edwin performed a binding spell on a local Port Townsend cat. However, in doing so, he found himself having to answer to the Cat King for his actions. As a consequence, the Cat King punishes him with a caging spell, preventing Edwin from leaving Port Townsend so long as the bracelets around his wrist saw. Should Edwin count every cat in Port Townsend, the bracelet will come off. What an interesting moment. While at the library with Nico researching the Devlin family murder, Edwin met a teenage boy named Monty, blah, blah, blah. That has nothing to do with it. While investigating a series of deaths at a local lighthouse, Edwin crossed paths with the Cat King again. Edwin guessed that there's 142 cats in town, but he was unfortunately incorrect. Honestly, he wasn't that far off. Hundreds of years older with more experience, the Cat King offered to be anything Edwin likes, transforming into Monty and then Charles. He wasn't going to remove the bracelet. Edwin said that he would return to his investigation, leading the Cat King to question why Edwin cared so much about cases of strangers. He compelled Edwin to admit the real reason for the Dead Boy Detectives is that he is doing as much good as he can so that eventually, if he went back to hell, he could make his case for leniency. Cat King whispered to Edwin that he never had to pretend with him and that he liked his secret parts, but Edwin pulled away, admitting that his true intentions were selfish. Wow. The one and only Cat King. Monty is the crow boy who kissed Edwin. Gotcha. Cat King is a seductive, shape-shifting trickster cat spirit with 9 lives who protects all cats and takes a keen interest in Edwin. Powers of shape-shifting. Obviously, we saw that on display. Immortality. Immortal being. He is not subject to disease or old age. And the Cat King is unable to die, hence he is immortal. He can still be injured, wounded and killed like a normal human, but when killed, he is resurrected after a short amount of time as a cat. However, as admitted by him, he only has 9 lives, implying that he will die and stay dead once all his lives have been used. That's interesting. That's kind of like, that reminds me of Jumanji. The more recent one with The Rock and Kevin Hart, where they have the tattoos of the Roman numerals on their arms. Teleportation. The Cat King can teleport himself and others over great distances with ease. Pheromone control. The Cat King possesses the ability to cast a spell that forced people around him to tell the truth. Binding. The power to bind or trap individuals in a given area. Summoning is the power to summon objects from one location to another. And magic resistance. Weaknesses, limited lives, obviously. Currently, the Cat King has lost 3 of his 9 lives, leaving him with 6. Yikes. Anyone ship Edwin and Cat King? I'm sure they do. Just a wild guess there. Is anyone else dying for a good fanfic of Edwin and Cat King? Would be slow burn enemies to lovers' gold. Someone give us hurt comfort after return. Someone give us hurt comfort after returning from hell. Heartfelt apology from Cat King for trapping Edwin in Port Townsend, and Edwin fighting the urge to forgive him because their chemistry is insane, and Cat King helped his friends save him from the witch both times. You get it. There's no way I'm the only one thinking this. Their arc on the show was hot. No. Absolutely shipping this. I don't. If you ever watch Shadowhunter, the Edwin and Cat King dynamic is giving Alec and Magus. Magus or Magnus? Bane's vibes. The Cat King is flirtatious as Magus, while Edwin and Alec is straight-laced and uptight boys. Alec, just like Edwin, has a crush on his best friend as well. Oh, wow. No, I'd rather let Desiree come and steal Edwin than let that creepy feline thing touch the poor ghost boy. It is Magnus. Okay. I was just like, there's got to be an N in here somewhere. Wow. That's a hot take right there. Desiree is worse and less attractive. Wow. Super hot take. I ship Edwin and Charles, but I do love the Cat King. He's my total favorite from the show. I would love a spin-off about him. It'd be great to see him find somebody who's a good fit for him and also learn more about his past and personality. That would be interesting to find out the origin story of the Cat King. And to see how all the lives get taken away from him. And eventually, on your last life, like that would be crazy. You'd just be like a normal human at that point. You get one life, you get one chance. But it would be an interesting dynamic to see, like, as your lives dwindle, how that affects you mentally. Desire, the embodiment of desire, sibling of death, despair, etc., etc. Creepy feline thing. Gosh. Wow. What a fascinating character. I would love to see, as I was saying, I would love to see an origin story there and a run through all the lives. I think by the time you get to the 9th life, you're going to be so guarded. Because as humans, yes, we try to keep ourselves alive as best as possible. Obviously, we have kind of a built-in survival instinct that is tough to get past. But I think if you've already gone through 8 lives and you're on the last one, you're going to be way worse off. Like, you're going to be very scared about losing it. All this talk of cats has summoned Freddy to sit on my shoulder. That's amazing. Meow. Let's go ahead and jump into the third video. That was fascinating. The Cat King is an interesting character. I was kind of hesitant at first, but boy, I'm sold just from 8 minutes. The third video is Spencer Cassadine, and it is titled $1 Million Baby from General Hospital. Obviously, as we've said before, Spencer is presumed dead. Nicholas Chavez's contract is up with General Hospital, so there's no real connection there anymore. I think it was said or reported that they were still in talks, maybe, but who knows where that's going to go, because he might have other offers coming in, just because he did the Netflix thing with Ryan Murphy, which, depending on the success of that, might really launch him into superstardom. So it might be the last of Spencer, or it might be, you know, just a delayed start, or a reunion, I guess you could say.
Don't just stand there. Show my guests inside.
Should we go out for one last meal? As the townies might say. Damn straight.
Is a huge, huge, huge success.
And you're so hot.
Oh, we're just friends.
Good friends. I have no words for you.
That correction, though.
Where is she?
That's a
I should light
aggressive
you
move.
up right now. God!
I might have to put that one in my Rolodex. Be gone.
I know how to protect my own. Yes, ma'am. Sorry, I can't offer you any refreshments. I think that today might be Father's Day off.
What is this dumb?
Because you can't unring the bell. Are we playing the game? Or is the game playing us? Orange too, but I like orange.
Orange lollipops, amazing.
To the woman I love.
Orange popsicles, amazing as well.
How can we ever repay you?
For you? I'll think of something. The man that you're crushing on is a known reprobate.
Is that so?
Yeah, he's a convicted felon.
No.
He's a spendthrift. An entitled bourgeois, hot-tempered good-for-nothing.
A bourgeois, hot-tempered good-for-nothing. Well, there you go. That's a biography title right there. Link down below in the YouTube description for the original edit. Go throw it some love. It was a very good edit of Spencer. Obviously, it's a little hard watching those, because it's just like, dang, I guess it's over. I guess it ended. Obviously, there's some still holding out hope for a triumphant return and a continuation of that ship. Or I guess not much of a ship. I mean, they're literally together in the show. But kind of knowing how some of this stuff works, it usually doesn't turn out quite like that. Maybe if he doesn't get any offers and he just realizes the fact that, oh, General Hospital is kind of it, other than this Netflix thing, which I don't think will be the case. He's a good-looking dude, obviously. He can clearly act. Ships can be together in show. Okay. Well, good to know. But I think he's going to get more offers, so I don't think he's going to really need General Hospital, which is kind of a terrible thing to say if you're a fan of General Hospital. But I think you can understand what I'm trying to get at there. like eventually a bunch. I mean, we read the list. There's so many actors that used to be on soap operas that graduated to television, other television projects, Netflix, movies, etc. And it seems like he's right around that age where you would make that shift. I'm assuming he's like mid-20s, maybe late 20s. So it seems like the perfect time to kind of cut for that. Maybe he's going to be a villain, you know, maybe kind of fits the villain archetype. Maybe he's going to be a action star or something like that. Who knows? I could kind of see that for sure, especially those scenes where in the tuxedo and whatnot. It's just like, you know what? I could see him as like, if Alan Ritchson wasn't doing Reacher, he could probably do Reacher. Netflix, he's definitely a villain. You know what? Maybe that's the arc. So many actors have played that arc their entire career, and it's just beautiful. He's 24. That seems like the starting point of a career, for sure. Maybe if he doesn't get any offers or anything too interesting, he might return. But I'm assuming he's good enough that he will move on. Unfortunately, obviously, if you're a fan of SPRINA, that is an unfortunate reality. But we'll see. We shall see. It's not set in stone. Obviously, they're trying to do something with Trina and introduce somebody else, Gio or whatever his name is. I don't know. Will people accept it? Maybe after a while. It's a little hard to accept, and like a character change. An actor change is what it is, all right? Character's still there. You still have the backstory. It's just a different face. That's a little easier to accept than just getting rid of literally the character and the actor that's been there since the start. That's definitely a hard pill to swallow, but he's one of the Menendez brothers in the Netflix show, so we can see Spencer, why they picked him. Yeah, exactly. Wow. That's going to be interesting to see how well he does in that. I don't know when that releases. Is it like later this year or something like that? But I think they just got done with production and whatnot. So that'll be interesting, you know, see how it goes. I think General Hospital was probably a pretty good warm-up for it, for sure. Definitely a different vibe when you're playing a villain than playing a love interest, but he had some moments in there, a little aggression, and you can kind of see it. So, who knows? Oh, Spencer. Potentially gone forever, unfortunately. Next video is Luke and Jess being Luke and Jess for 4 minutes. Let's go ahead and hit this ad real quick, and we'll be back for that video. Late 2024. Okay. All right. Well, that gives a little bit of time, at least, for General Hospital to do things, and obviously a little bit of buffering time there for him to see if he gets any offers, any extra offers. I'm assuming people are going to see it before then, like people in the industry and whatnot. But maybe just him being in a Ryan Murphy production will give people kind of a green light to go like, oh, this guy's proven. He can do it. Who knows? But let's jump into that Gilmore Girls, Jess and Luke video right now.
Man, when the next just catch, so shake him real hard. Maybe he'll disappear.
By the way, if you're watching on Twitch, don't forget to follow. We are cruising into that
I was
100.
just walking by, and the thing came out of nowhere, and bam, beaked me right in the eye.
It beaked you?
You still don't believe me?
I just never heard anyone use the word beaked as a verb before.
No.
What am I supposed to tell him?
Tell her I gotta take another crack at that closet. You know, I think I hung my Tool t-shirt next to my Metallica t-shirt. They don't really get along.
Where'd you get it?
Santa Claus.
So you're not gonna tell me?
That's right. Stop following me and stop asking me questions. Just stop.
Should you have a marching band behind you? No way.
I've seen that a couple times. That's very funny.
This is done. Hey, where's the gnome?
What? Are we having the same conversation? A solution to him.
A solution would have been birth control. Too late, move on.
You would all find this ridiculous.
Yes, as a matter of fact, I do find this ridiculous.
Painting all discussable options.
A swan.
Excuse me?
I was attacked by a swan.
I'm going upstairs.
Fine, but if a horse-drawn carriage shows up here, my throwing up will be eternal.
What are you doing? Where are you going?
I'm gonna do a little beaking of my own.
Just not the ladle. That's a brand new ladle.
It's pretty.
Shh. No.
Is it gonna double
Swan.
back? Maybe. So it's lulling us into complacency.
He's vicious, I'm telling you.
Yeah, his butt's terrifying.
What's the
They're
white stuff?
vicious?
I think it's cheese or
Whoa.
cream.
And green stuff?
I think it's best picked off.
I will admit to the fact that I hit a goose with a golf ball once.
Very handsome man.
Not my proudest moment.
Very hot.
I got it.
Randy Gerber hot.
Enough. Jess, you were supposed to be down here.
Obviously, I wasn't trying to.
That.
I don't know what happened. It's like the golf ball was just like heat-seeking
I
missile.
like this shirt.
How can you like that shirt?
It brings out my eyes.
It's nothing.
You reading?
It's nothing.
I never see you reading.
I read.
What do you read?
I read.
What do you read?
Invoices, expiration dates.
Stand correct.
I swear I was not aiming for the goose.
They have amazing.
That would have been an incredible aim. Honestly, it happened like it was in slow motion. It was very weird.
You've been in there for 2 hours.
Yeah, well, my hair just ain't
Swans can
bouncing
break a
and
grown
behaving
man's
today.
There are
arm.
other people living here too, you know.
My gosh.
Learn something new every day.
Well, his people skills are really improving.
How can anyone sleep through that? It's like the Huns are attacking. And there's... Well, you're oblivious. That's why you can just lie there while the rest of the world is going down. Well, what is it supposed to be? Check the title. I did. It's called Untitled. There you go. I give up.
It was pink. We can paint it.
You mean I can paint?
We can paint it together.
Great. Then we can hold hands and skip afterwards. So we get curtains.
Well, you'll have to help me put them up.
Great. Then we can hold hands and skip afterwards.
Stop saying that.
Stop saying. I literally thought they were playing the same scene over again. Oh.
That's your room. Finish up. We'll hold hands and skip afterwards.
Mom had a coyote come out to play with. Wow.
Jackass asked me for the Wi-Fi password, and a bigger jackass gave it to him.
You didn't give me that password for 6 months and I lived here.
What do you think you're doing?
Working.
So you think this is funny, huh?
I'm sorry, I thought this was a uniform.
That's it. Get upstairs and change.
It was so weird. It hit the goose in the wing, or like the back area, and it made such a
Don't
thud.
address me at all.
Like it was hollow.
Great.
Just
You're doing
thud.
great. Wow, you're doing great. I'm not doing great. I have running water.
You confirm paternity?
Don't be a wise.
Everything's under control.
What happened to knocking, Kurt?
Yeah, what if we were naked?
Don't say that.
That was absolutely humorous. Oh my gosh, I was not expecting that, but they are funny together. Obviously, the circus music in the background was very funny in its own right. Link down below in the description on YouTube for the original edit. Go throw it some love. All UK swans belong to King, so no golf ball target practice there. Well, dang. All right. Actually, I think the goose is a protected bird, isn't it? Like Canadian geese? I don't know. I think so. There was kind of an infestation of geese at my parents' subdivision, and they couldn't do anything about it because you can't touch them, you can't do anything, you can't move them into a different area. You literally just have to accept it. All right, lots of planets. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate it. What's up, Slayer Kitty? Welcome, welcome. Gilmore Girls. Let's go ahead and bring this up. Honestly, I kind of forget the main role of this. Not so much, but I'll say it just to jump into some solidarity with people. The geese where I am are vicious. Yeah, they're interesting. They don't even move when a car's coming. Like, they barely move. They're like, they look at it and then they just waddle slowly out of the way. It's like, come on now. Like, what are you doing? Received critical acclaim for its witty dialogue, as we definitely saw in that edit. Cross-generational appeal, an effective mix of humor and drama. It was a success for the WB, peaking during season 5, network's second most popular show. They did a revival series. Follows the lives of Lorelai and Rory. 2 women, while living in the small town of Stars Hollow, Connecticut, have big ambitions they try desperately to achieve. Lorelai wants to own her own inn, while Rory wants to attend Harvard. Wow. Okay. They also deal with Lorelai's appearance obsessive. Excuse me. Let's try that again. They also deal with Lorelai's appearance obsessive upper-class parents, Emily and Richard, who pay Rory's tuition at Chilton. I think that said Chilton. An exclusive private school in Hartford, Connecticut. You know, the idea of going to an exclusive private school just doesn't interest me at all. Like, it never did. Going to a public school is very much an experience, and I think everyone is better for it, even if it's terrible. Even if you absolutely hate it. I think it is an experience that you can definitely grow from. I don't know. I think of exclusive private school, and I just immediately have a bad reaction to it. Like, the kids are going to be absolute monsters, more so than a public school. Maybe that's a misconception, obviously. You know, it's kind of a stereotype, I guess you could say, but it just, I have that initial reaction of like, ugh. Ugh. In exchange, Rory and Lorelai have to come to Emily and Richard's house for dinner every Friday night. Nothing like a command performance. Yeah, my dad was in a private boarding school for a few years. All boys, sounded awful. Yeah, that does not interest me at all. Like, I feel like you're missing out on something there. Even though it's probably a great education and the teachers are probably paid much more, it seems like you're missing out on something. To me, it's very similar to going to university, but like staying at home and not experiencing getting out there, living on your own, maybe in a dormitory, maybe in a apartment or something. Like, just getting that sense of individualism and freedom and all that stuff, but in a safer environment than actual, like, you know, working your adult life. You get kind of like a pre-adult life, if that makes any sense. This sets up one of the show's primary ongoing conflicts. The Gilmore family is forced to face their differences and complicated past, their interactions fueled by these weekly dinners together. I'm assuming that's very entertaining. Contrasting mother-daughter relationships of Emily Lorelai and Lorelai Rory become a defining theme of the show and a lens through which many of the female relationships are viewed. The student bubble, we called it at uni. Yeah, the student bubble. It's very much like, I don't know. Because I've talked to people that didn't go into the student bubble or, you know, have that experience. And most of the time they're just like, yeah, I kind of wish I did that. I had the opportunity to stay at home and then just drive to uni. But ultimately, my parents were just like, you're going to miss out on a lot by doing that. It would save us a ton of money. That's for sure. But the experience of being on your own and having that sort of independence and adulthood, quote unquote, like pre-adulthood, is an experience that you should have. So ultimately, I went into the dormitory, which I think was healthy. I think it was good. Because it did prepare me to live on my own. Just as a principal character on Gilmore Girls, troubled love interest of Rory, son of Liz and Jimmy, and nephew of Luke. Jess is incredibly smart, quick-witted, and interested in the arts and literature, but not academically motivated. Boy, that would be the biography of my school tenure right there. Not academically motivated. I enjoyed dorm living in college also. Yeah, it was an experience. It was interesting, right? It was being an adult with none of the consequences, very much so. Obviously, if you're on student loans or something like that in the U.S., there are consequences. You are literally on loans. But it's down the road. Like, immediately, you're not going to lose your housing through it. But it's very much like that, just getting your foot in the door of adulthood. And I think it's a very interesting time. Obviously, there's some weird scenarios. You know, you're living with other people usually. Life is Strange was wild. Like, that must be a private academy. I'm pretty sure it was, right? Because they had their own dorm room. Who has their own dorm room? That's a pretty amazing dorm room. I always had 3 other people. I didn't know anybody going into there, so I just had random people, which is terrifying, by the way. Your first time doing it, terrifying, because you're like, who is going to be here? How is this going to go? It was very odd to live with complete strangers. In the UK, we have our own bedrooms, shared kitchen. That's nice. So we do have that as well, but that's in the like upper tier, the more expensive dormitories. So the first 2 years, I was in the just kind of the normal ones where it was 2 people sharing a bedroom, 2 people sharing a bedroom, and then like a common room with a bathroom. And then my last 2 years of university, I was in my own bedroom, which was tiny, very tiny. It was like a bed, a desk, a dresser, and that was about it. And it had a door though, which was pretty cool. And then we had a common room with a bathroom. 2 bathrooms. That was pretty sweet. We had a roommate. We had a mini fridge and a microwave and a sink. Yeah, most of them are pretty tiny. Cheaper ones have shared bathroom. More expensive, the bedrooms have en suites. Oh my gosh. Yeah, we never had that. That doesn't exist over here, I don't think. Maybe at a more expensive school like Harvard or something. But it was almost always shared bathrooms with at least one other person. I think my brother actually had a shared bathroom with the entire floor of the dormitory, which is terrifying. That sounds awful. I remember seeing that when he moved in, and I'm just like, that sounds like a nightmare scenario. Like, you're showering with, I don't know how many people were on the floor. It was probably like 30. Like, ugh. That sounds... I remember going into those bathrooms, just kind of peeking my head in and just going like, this is awful. Like, is this what university is? I don't want this. Oh God. Note to kids, note to self, send the kid to uni in the UK. Right. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Those shared floor bathrooms are, oh, I don't know about that. Maybe that's not worth the experience. His lack of parental support from his mother and the absence of his father leaves Jess feeling very alone and scared of the world, which causes him to test or lash out at most people. Jess tends to distance himself from people, leading to his breakup with Rory. Despite people reaching out to him, he often pushes them away without explanation. Obviously, that probably happened with Luke quite a bit, as we saw in there. Luke is also a principal character, local diner owner. He lived in Stars Hollow his entire life, and his dad's hardware store became his diner after his dad passed away. While his father was heavily involved in town events, Luke has resisted all of them, including most town meetings and the war reenactments. Though Luke expresses animosity towards town events, it is evident that he cares for the town and never has huge ambitions to leave. I kind of get that. If your dad is super into something and being in the town and whatnot, it's almost guaranteed that the kid is going to not be into it. Because whatever your parents are into is lame. That's kid 101, right? But when Richard attempts to have Luke open up a whole chain of Luke's diners, Luke respectfully declines as he has no interest in becoming a business magnate. This small town feeling that he cherishes directly correlates to his failed relationship with Rachel. We had 2 bathrooms and 2 showers per floor. Oh, gosh. That's still bad. That's still bad. I don't know. I like having the ensuite, the bathroom in the room, so at least I know exactly who is sharing that bathroom with me. And it's just less time waiting in line or waiting in line for a shower or something. I'm sure that wasn't the case very often because people shower at different times. But just the fact that there would be somebody in there already would just irk me. Let's see. After Luke's father died, Luke moved into an office above the diner and converted it to a small apartment. He lived there alone. Actually, that's not a bad idea, being above your business. He lived there alone until his nephew Jess was sent by his mother to live with Luke. Luke is of a very sarcastic nature, often employing dry wit in his exchanges with everyone, and is known as the town grump with a heart of gold. I don't know if I'd want to be known as the town grump, but at least he had a heart of gold. We saw a lot of that sarcastic nature in that exchange with Jess. Obviously, Jess had a little bit of it too. Jess and Luke's relationship is one of the best on the show. Always a favorite of mine. Taking in his troubled nephew without asking any questions or wanting anything in return was purely selfless. One of my favorite scenes is when the two are walking by the pond and Luke just pushes Jess right in. That was very funny. And it's something I always think about. Just whether it's a pool or a reflecting pond or whatever, you just think about like pushing someone in or somebody pushing someone in. Town Grump makes me think of Oscar from Sesame Street. Yes, that's very true. Jess and Luke are a lot alike. Kind of see that in that edit for sure. Both somewhat sarcastic, I would say. And you can kind of read between the lines that they actually care about each other. And it's just kind of playful ribbing. It doesn't seem like a lot of seriousness to it. Luke cares about Jess right off the bat. But I especially love watching how Luke's concern for Jess shifts from mostly vague familial caring to a really personal attachment to Jess for who he is. In a family matter, Luke watching from the car to make sure Jess goes into the diner hits me in the feels. Yeah, that's lovely right there. That's a little bit of that protectionism. In Lorelei's graduation, when Jess asks Rory about Luke, but can't even bring himself to ask her to say hi for him. Luke asking if Jess is a gigolo before he learns about Walmart. That's amazing. I'm assuming Jess got a job at Walmart. He probably didn't tell him and just assumed he started bringing in money that he was a gigolo. Luke might be the only adult Jess respects. Well, there you go. It just takes one, right? It just takes one. Somebody was able to, reach him at his level. Luke and Jess are men of few words, and additionally, they both have problems expressing their feelings, which makes for some very interesting scenes. Luke pushing Jess into the lake. Apparently, that seems to be one of the favorite scenes for multiple people. Luke's a hidden gem of the show. His rants, while sometimes annoying, are overall spot on. He's crapped on over and over, but perseveres. Look what he does for Rory. He pulls the entire town together and pulls off a world-renowned party. Until the revival, he is crapped on in lieu of Max or Chris, but are not worthy. Sorry for the rant, but Luke gets the short end of the stick the entire series. I think we saw that in a video a few weeks back. We all hate Jess's dad so much. The video contrasted him and Luke. Oh, that's right. That kind of explains why he doesn't like you know, following in his footsteps at least. I love when Luke gives Jess crap, like with the swan or deviled eggs. Probably the healthiest relationship on the show. When did Richard cheat? Wait, what? Ow. Dang it. Come on now. Me learning how to use Reddit. Richard said he was engaged to Penguin Lott at the same time he was dating Emily during his Yale years. Oh. The dad left for cigarettes and never came back, I think. Well, dang. He saw Penguin, his old fiancée, secretly for lunch every year for decades behind Emily's back. I don't personally consider that an affair. They were just catching up, but it's dishonest enough that it could go in the family of cheating behavior. Yeah. That's flirting with it, for sure. That's like that emotional cheating. I don't think lunch is anything near cheating, but he did hide it from Emily. Well, it's shady. It's lying by omission. Certainly not in the same family as Dean cheating on Lindsay, though. It's getting close there. It's getting real close. It's not the same impact as actually going all the way with it, but it's getting close. It's like right at the start. You know, you've passed the starting line and you're in the race. It's such a weird analogy. Now that I'm thinking about it. Like you're in the race. You're in there. You're running. You just haven't crossed the finish line yet. Oh my gosh. I'm going to stop with that while I'm ahead. The last video of the day. We have made it to the last video of the day. I hope you all have had a wonderful time. I certainly have. The last video of the day is the happy ending, which seems fitting, right? I chose it to be the end because I was like, oh, happy ending. Why not? Happy ending season series official pilot. Excited indeed. Let's go ahead and bring this up. And I do have the closed captioning. Cat King and happy ending were my requests. Well, there you go. A double whammy. Obviously, shout out to Jace and Luke for finding all the informational posts that we've gone over today. Gotta love a good lens flare. That is sheer panic. Agreed. Yeah, it is.
จากนั้นฟินก็ค่อยๆหลับตาลงก่อนที่เฮ้ย
แค่นี้อะไรต่อ
อ้าวเฮียอะไรครับเนี่ยเฮ้ย
ฮะเฮ้ยฟินไม่ต้องเก่งกว่านี้ไม่ใช่เหรอวะเขาไขคดีได้เป็นร้อยๆเขาคือนักสืบที่เก่งที่สุดไอ้สัตว์เอ้ยแม่งเนี่ยมึงอ่านเดมอนนะดวงตาเขามีแต่ความว่างเปล่าราวกับตัวประหลาดจากนอกโลกที่ไม่เคยได้รู้จักกับความรักทุยถ้ามีกับแม่งเป็นพระเอกจะอ้วก
เอ้ยเดี๋ยวใจเย็นไอ้หนุ่มโกรธอะไรเนี่ย กูรู้อ่านมันก็ต้องมีขัดใจบ้างก็เหมือนละครแหละอ่านเถอะนิยายแค่นิยายฟรีมึงด่างานเขาขนาดนี้มึงเขียนได้อย่างเขาไหมเคยลองแต่งนิยายสักตอนไหมตั้งแต่แม่งลงให้กูไม่ครบตอนนี่แหละ
ในบริเวณห้องนั่งเล่นทางตำรวจได้พบศพผู้เสียชีวิตในท่านั่งในลักษณะนิ้วมือติดอยู่ที่แป้นพิมพ์หน้าจอคอมพิวเตอร์เจ้าของนิยายออนไลน์ขายดีที่กำลังโด่งดังอยู่ในขณะนี้ผลสรุปเบื้องต้นจากการชันสูตรตำรวจแจ้งว่าเขาอยู่ในระหว่างการเขียนนิยายปิงแอนเดมอนซึ่งเป็นนิยายที่นักอ่านชาวไทยรู้จักเป็นอย่างดี
Oh. Yeah. Just animal. I can definitely see it.
อันนี้มันแตกต่าง มันไม่เหมือนใครที่เราเคยเจอก่อนหน้านี้ มันใช้กรีดบาดแผลแยบยลมาก จ่อลงไปตรงๆ ทะลุไปถึงกระดูก มันทำกับเหยื่อของมันทุกคน เหมือนเป็นงานศิลปะ
แต่ทำไมต้องใช้กริดด้วย
มันฟันฉับเดียว แต่รอยกรีดเนียบ
Well, it's more intimate, that's for sure. Got to be a lot closer with the dagger. I think it's pronounced Saturn, right? Like Saturn? I remembered.
Everyone ก็อยากได้ตอนจบที่สวยงามเหมือนกันหมดไม่ใช่เหรอ
That seems so creepy is a good word for it. Indeed. That seems so creepy. Show comes out early next year. Nice. Also making a vampire show together. Ooh. That was terrifying. That seems really good. Really good. I usually don't lean towards that kind of content. But it looks interesting enough. It kind of reminds me, this is not even remotely in the same genre, but the story of somebody writing the story. Oh gosh, what was the other one too? Oh no, I'm not going to be able to remember that one. But it reminds me of Argyle, how the writer is actively writing the story as it happens. Maybe it has that kind of feel to it. Obviously not tone-wise, very different. But, oh gosh, what's the other one? It's like a romance. See if anyone remembers this. It's like a romance movie where the author is writing, I think Scarlett Johansson is in it, where he's writing a romance about the person. And then he has this like issue with controlling the character or the person. I can't remember what the heck that's called. Ruby Says? Oh, I think it's Ruby Says. I don't know why that just popped into my, or Ruby something. Hang. What the heck is that called? I don't think I'm going to be able to remember it. Maybe it's not Ruby. I don't know why that came to mind. Seems like it might be a combo of what... Yeah. Fictional character into the real world. Very much so. Oh my gosh. Ruby Sparks. That's what it's called. A novelist struggling with writer's block finds romance in the most unusual way by creating a female character he thinks will love him, then willing her into existence. It is so strange. And obviously, he uses a typewriter, and as he writes, then it happens kind of thing. So you're kind of controlling real life or whatever in a fictional way. Very interesting. But kind of that feeling to it, at least. But with a much more horror theme to it, thriller. That seems really fascinating. Super fascinating, actually. Wow. Link down below in the YouTube description for the original edit. Go throw it some love. That looks awesome. That looks amazing. Jeff and Mike will be in a series of vampire... in the series Vamp as Vampire Mike and Hunter Jeff, so a flip of the killer and detective roles in this. Ooh. That's kind of cool. It's very interesting. It's been an interesting... Oh, there's Ruby Sparks. It's been an interesting... I don't know. Vampires, zombies. We reached a saturation point. Obviously, with vampires, when Twilight came out, it just sparked a whole bunch of vampire stuff. And then obviously, with Walking Dead, it sparked a whole bunch of zombie stuff. But it's been a while, I think, where to the point where that content could seem pretty fresh. Jeff joked they are doing an actor exchange program together. That's funny. They're taking turns. Vampires just hit BL. Well, there you go. So it's going to seem super fresh, I think. It's been a while since those movies came out. Anti-fan Anowin comes face to face with Damon, the antagonist of the web novel Finn and Damon. They announced 5 vampire BLs this year. Whoa. Whoa. Well, get ready. You got Jeff, you got Barcode, Mike. All right. Jeff Satter promises happy ending. The new series will be Jeff's first foray as a show producer. Anti-fan, so he hate reads it. That's amazing. Jeff is a singer and actor, and now he can add producer to his growing list of credentials as he prepares to helm his first ever series called Happy Ending on social media. Studio on Saturn, Jeff's own agency, released the key visual for the new series with the caption, Studio on Saturn presents Happy Ending soon. Oh, I like the graphics of it too. Very cool. The poster, which is designed in a Hitchcock-esque style. That, yeah, for sure. Says this is the first original series from the agency. It also features the silhouettes of 4 people believed to be the actors of the series. I got the vibe he's a Finns fan and Damon hater. Kind of seems like it, I suppose. It also features the silhouettes of... anyway, I just read that. Shortly after the release, Jeff weighed in, commenting on X, formerly known as Twitter. How long are we going to have to say that? Can I just say X and everyone just realizes it's used to be Twitter? I don't think you are ready for this. Fans have begun speculating who could be starring in the new series and what it could be about. No further details were given yet. Obviously, they have since then. We can see him right here. Boom. For several days, Studio on Saturn has released teasers for the new project with posts from Jeff like, and they lived happily ever after. And a post in Braille font that purportedly reads, canvas, photos, sculptures with an accompanying poem. Very cryptic, very mysterious. Jeff is a workaholic. Jeff refuses to leave any talent for anyone else. That's amazing. Show producer, writer, music producer, and actor, and he did graphic design degree, so he's done the posters too. Oh, wow. Braille font use has people speculating Damon may have vision issues. Interesting. His eyes like a crystal. His life is an enigma. We gave him life ourselves. His art is truly heartfelt. Quote, no heaven, no hell. He said it in the Braille. The end is independent. The mortal is an experiment. You will meet him here if you look closely at the rear. God, that's eerie. That's so eerie. New series comes as Jeff wrapped up his Space Shuttle number 8 tour, both in Bangkok and in parts of Asia. Wow. Jeff's happy ending is set to air in early 2025. Producer, music director, and scriptwriter. That's a great poster right there. That's cool. I like that. That is terrifying. The thriller series features Jeff as well as singer-actor Mike Angelo, former Beyond Cloud artiste Barcode, and for Eve member Joran. Jeff is also tapping on creative agency Max Motive, with whom he worked with for the MV of his recent single, Ghost, music video. For production of the series, the pilot made its debut on June 15th as a closed-door event in Bangkok's M-Sphere. 6-minute-long pilot earned acclaim from fans who praised its art direction. We're excited for the series to finally be released. Indeed. Yeah, the art direction's fantastic. Obviously, it really holds the creepy factor. That was unbelievable. It was riveting, is a good way to put it. At the launch event, it was revealed Jeff juggles several key responsibilities in the series, not only the producer, but he's also in charge of its music, as Jace said, including creating the musical scores and has script writing credits. The 29-year-old also says he had to cast Joran as a female lead of the series, having recently worked with the girl group during his concert. Will be Joran's latest acting stint. If the show has even half of the same quality, it'll be amazing. Indeed. For Eve is a Thai girl band. Good to know. Good to know. All right. Jace said this. Jeff Barcode are a pairing who would have worked together in Kim Porsche. Who've worked together in Kim Porsche. Wow, I can't even read right now. And in the not yet released Wuju Bakery. Expected this fall, if it's not delayed again. Yikes. Aside from acting, both are musicians and work together on music for Barcode's new show from earlier this year, DFF, Dead Friend Forever. It's unknown as to whether Happy Ending is going to be a BL2, but either way, they've talked about how it was a no-brainer to collab together again. During the live event, where they premiered the pilot of Happy Ending for an audience of media and fans, Jeff said that he and Barcode have a shorthand after working together so much. Quote, I feel whenever I work with him, it's so easy. Like he really understands the things I say, with which most people don't, right? To which Barcode agreed, I understand him instantly because we get along so well. Barcode, when asked, said he was blown away with what Jeff had created, and he accepted the offer of the role immediately without script. I can play any role, quote, I can play any role as long as P. Jeff is inviting me. I'll agree because we've known each other for so long. The important thing is we're close. Actually, I didn't see the script. I had already accepted. That's got to be like Cillian Murphy and Christopher Nolan at this point. Like, I don't even want to see the script. Just, yes, absolutely. Or very much like Leo DiCaprio and Martin Scorsese. It's just like, yep, sure. Or Tom Hanks and Steven Spielberg. Like, yeah, whatever you want me to do, I'm here for it. Since they are no longer in the same company, Jeff has his own. This would normally mean a pairing is over. When Jeff left to create his studio, many thought they wouldn't see the pairing work together again. However, their friendship and mentorship has continued. Barcode has said before that any business or career decision, it's Jeff's opinion that he wants. With a 10-year age gap, Jeff has a lot of knowledge and experience he readily shared to help Barcode navigate fame as a teenager. That's super cool. Jeff has been protective of Barcode after all. The entertainment industry is not always kind to its teen stars. That's an understatement, Jace. Indeed. That is very true. It's awesome that Barcode has Jeff to kind of tutor and mentor and guide and all that good stuff. I can only imagine being a teen star and having to deal with all that. And obviously we're aware of all the stories of a lot of Hollywood teen stars and how they kind of have a downfall. So it's good that, you know, he's got someone to lean on or ask for advice or whatnot. I was being diplomatic, indeed. Indeed. That was a nice way to put it, for sure. That looks fascinating. I have no idea if it's going to be as good as that preview was, but if it's even half as good as that preview, it's going to be good. Like, really good. It's rough no matter where you are. Indeed. That's true. That is true. Just being a teenager is rough, as we can all attest, if we've made it out of teenage years. Good grief. That was amazing. That's genuine excitement for that one. I usually don't get hyped on creepy films or series or anything like that, but that genuinely looks interesting. Like, I'm kind of bummed that doesn't come out around like Halloween, because you just kind of expect it in like October, that kind of stuff. But honestly, I think it won't really matter. But it definitely seems like one of those where you watch it at night, turn the lights off, just kind of enjoy, be in that moment, and just accept the fact that you're going to be creeped out. It's so weird going to see horror films or thrillers or anything like that at a movie theater when it's daytime and you leave the theater and it's like lunchtime and you're like, oh, I guess I'll eat. Just doesn't have the same effect. But going at night is definitely amazing. Not at my house. All the lights on. Oh yeah. Well, honestly, I can say the same. I usually don't watch them if I'm alone. It's too much. I put myself into whatever I'm watching and it just gets crazy. I freak myself. In a movie theater, I am jumping. I am jumping and freaking out at A Quiet Place day one. Literally just like like knocking over food and drink and good grief. My girlfriend uses them to fight fatigue and stay awake. Well, there you go. Yeah, that would work for sure. That gets the adrenaline pumping. Absolutely. I'm a wuss though. Honestly, same. Same. Easily startled, I get that. Yeah. Easily startled is a good way to put it. Gosh. I think I had 3 jump scares during that movie. That actually one was like bad. One was real bad. Like, it was a total flinch. Like, you know, we were just like, ah. Oh gosh. Well, it was dark, you know, so I wasn't too embarrassed, but it is what it is. I hope you enjoyed the stream as much as I did. Those were 5 amazing videos. Amazing videos. I'll be brave for a happy ending, though. You gotta be. If Jeff's in it, you gotta be. And it looks really good. It looks really well done, which is going to help it tremendously and make it maybe even more scary and creepy, which is, oh boy. It's a good thing if you really enjoy those. It can be a little terrifying if you don't. But hey, push through. You have to remind yourself that it's not real. But I kind of hate doing that because it like takes you out of it in a way. I don't know. It's like a gentle balance of like, it's not real, but I have to watch the story and like get into the story. Oh, it's very back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Anyway, if you'd like to request your own videos, you can do so. ToddReacts.com. Look forward to seeing your requests. and the requests go through in the Discord. So as you join the website, you connect it to the Discord, and that allows you to see the hidden request spots in the Discord, the free public Discord. If you're not a member of the Discord, go ahead and join today. Check out the toddreacts.com store. The summer collection is active and live. I'm sure you're going to love whatever you get. 15% off to website members on every order. It's just auto-applied. If you're a Twitch sub, you also save as well. That's a new feature that just went up, so I activated it. So if you become a Twitch sub, it actually connects and you save some money that way as well. Did I forget something? Follow the Twitch channel. If you're watching on Twitch, follow the Twitch channel. We are getting towards I keep forgetting what side it's on. It's this side. Go ahead and get us to 100 followers on Twitch. Does it mean anything? Not really, but it's cool. It's cool to see. It's cool to see 3 numbers. But, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you're watching this on YouTube, the VOD on YouTube, after it's uploaded, go ahead and subscribe. It's free. It's easy. And check out the gaming channel as well. The live stream for the part 3 of Hogwarts Legacy. We're going to play through it. It's going to be interesting. I just did dueling for the first time, which was super cool. I enjoyed that. I definitely have to get a little bit better at it, but I'm not too bad so far. I'm assuming that game's going to get much more challenging, and I'm going to be in trouble, but we'll see. Anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, night, morning, whatever time it is. And I shall see you Thursday. Just a programming note, the schedule has changed again, I know. But my work schedule just got confirmed. So we're going to be streaming on Monday and Thursday for the reaction streams, and then Friday for the gaming streams. So come check all those out. I will see you all on Thursday. If I don't see you live, I'll see you on YouTube, and subscribe. But thanks for hanging out, Jace, Slayer Kitty. Lots of planets. I appreciate it. Did I miss anyone? If I missed you, I apologize. But I will see you all on Thursday. I hope you have a wonderful couple days here before I see you again. And yeah, take care. Bye-bye.